It fascinates me to see how my co-presenters spend the 10 seconds before we go live. Paul was drumming. Sarah was just chilling, and Sam was doing his hair. I kid you not.
The news for me is I didn't know you could see us.
Welcome to the 10 o'clock news with the EV Café. 30 minutes of madness about sustainable transport. There's some expert analysis in there, and we are blessed to be supported by Drax Electric Vehicles, business class EV advice and support. Now, today's opinions on a stick, as we have mentioned, are the aforementioned Paul, Sarah and Sam. We all met up at Partner Day this week, Sarah, where we got all of our lovely partners together to talk about how things are in the industry. Was it a good day?
Schneider Electric were our fantastic hosts, and we introduced our brand new team member, Plugsy the Bear, who will be Fleet and Mobility Live on Wednesday, where he'll be wearing a t-shirt, and you have to scan the QR code and follow all our socials and then enter the selfie competition.
Can I get him?
Selfie, berry, something.
I get him.
Yeah, go on, Sam. Go get him. Yeah. He's a monster. He's as big as me,
cuddly
possibly
monster.
bigger,
A cuddly monster,
but with hair. Yes, indeed, quite a thing. Anyway, right, we got a lot to get through today. So grab a cuppa and plug into what's happening in clean transport this week. And there he is, Plugsy Bear. That's
Sam
a
vastly
screenshot,
improved.
If ever there was one. Never has a t-shirt fitted more badly than mine and Plugsy's. Right, let's crack on with this. And coming up, the government has set out the vision for Great British Energy. Again, 6 months after the last time they mentioned it, and still no progress, so we'll be going into that. Hydrogen should have a role in heavy transport as a new strategy is proposed. Yeah, we'll see what Sam's got to say about that one. EV charge point operators warn of rising compliance pressures. Haven't we all, dear? And the price premium for EVs hits a record low, aka new EVs are now closer to the price of an ICE vehicle than ever. And final point, don't forget, if you're a fleet operator or manage a fleet, you should apply for the UK government's depot charging scheme as soon as possible, as applications for the scheme must be submitted by the end of November. And if you don't do it, you'll miss out, and there's pots of money. The depot charging scheme covers 75% of charge point and civil costs for schemes at depots. So get your finger out, get it done, cause it's free money. Hurrah! Right, but first, EV Café Commercial Club, where we highlight innovation and new things in our industry.
The Commercial Club from the EV Café.
Innovation applauded.
Paul always claps. Bless him. He's just, bless him. Totally committed.
No, he had that much coordination.
It's not technical, mate. It's fine. So what are we going to chat about? We've got Europcar has joined forces with the NBRA to improve courtesy car provision. The National Body Repair Association has partnered with Europcar Mobility Solutions with the aim of streamlining access to replacement vehicles for body shops across the UK. More than 1,000 body shop members now have access to the Europcar fleet for short-term rental for customers as well as for long-term rentals for their own courtesy fleet. That's brilliant, because it's always a pain in the bum when your vehicle's got to go into the workshop and you can't get a vehicle. Love that. Now then, Pablo, stop typing, because Fleet and Mobility Live, we're giving that a shout out in the commercial clap because it's going to be huge, and we've got all our partners with us. Who we got coming?
Well, not quite as many people as that heavily photoshopped picture, but we have got a great list of people. My goodness, now you're testing me if I'm supposed to remember everybody that's coming. But
I'll do it for you. Iveco, Drax Electric Vehicles, the AA, Webfleet, Dawson Group, Humax Digital, Clayton Power, Utility Line, Power, Stark Charge, Kiba Group, and PLP, and a legendary speaker lineup, including Stuart Murphy at Royal Mail and Nigel Allsop from BT. And they don't get much bigger than that, mate.
And they don't get much bigger than that. And we've also confirmed today Sarah Gray is going to join us, and we are hoping for a couple of other biggies as well. So it's going to be super, super cool. We've been working with Bow Media Group and Fleet Mobility Live for some time to build this EV Café Village right at the centre, the very heart of the show. We're surrounded by many manufacturers, but we'll be bringing the usual mix of nonsense and insights from the full team, and a great list of people exhibiting. And JC's put a QR code up, and I don't know why. Is that to log register? Oh, it's gone. Maybe.
Yeah, Fleet Mobility Live page.
There you go. See, how technical is that?
I'm impressed.
That's very clever. But so it is. Get over
that.
Register now. It's going to be great. There's so much insight across the 2 days. We've got a session on the ecosystem for electrification on the Wednesday at 2 p.m. where we'll all be there. So join us there. We'll even have Plugsy along for kisses and cuddles with Plugsy, obviously. That'll be great.
It's going to be good. And finally, Voltempo.
He's put his foot in it.
Now, we went and saw Voltempo on the EV Rally, and they have begun production of the megawatt charging system. And Neil Durno, big shout out to you, my friend. They've begun series production of the megawatt charger, and it's utterly fabulous. So Vince Cable, chair of the E-Freight 2030 Consortium, officially opened the facility with a ribbon-cutting event at the Tyseley Energy Park, which we went to, Sarah. It was fabbo. They've gone from having 3 staff to now 50 staff turning out megawatt charging. Love that. It's all part of the ZHID project, all that stuff. Really, really positive. Right. Should we get on with the news? Because it's 7 minutes past 10. Okay. Right. Now, here we go. Energy Secretary Ed Miliband has set out the government's vision for Great British Energy again, and how the body will deliver on clean energy again. The government has confirmed the 3 key areas for the company, including investment and development in technologies for clean power 2030, building domestic supply chains for economic growth and domestic energy resilience, and supporting the growth of local and community energy plans through a local power plan. It announced a strategic plan, lots of planning here, for Great British Energy, which will be produced within the next 6 months. Good grief. To date, it has invested around 200 million in solar and renewable energy projects on schools, hospitals and public buildings across the country. Now then, we need this stuff. We need clean energy. I'm not sure we've got 6 months and then another 6 months to have a think about it and get a strategy together. Am I wrong in being frustrated, Sam?
I'm a little frustrated in the bit that said government's only invested 200 million in solar and renewable energy projects on schools, hospitals and public buildings. That seems like a drop in the ocean considering the investment from the commercial sector itself. I mean, that's nothing. So do more. Build more renewable energy sources, government. You know, there's opportunities to do it, to get on with it.
Do more, do faster. We ain't got the time for this, Pablo, have we?
No, well, see, the thing is, so I've gone on about this before. We've changed everybody again. And it's like, we must come up with an announcement and a policy, and we'll tell everybody what we were going to do, and now I'm going to work out how we do it, when the other person that was working out how we're doing it is going off to work out how to do something else. And it's like, oh, for goodness sake, let people concentrate and get one job done and then move on, rather than just spin everybody around and start again. It's very irritating. And we're still waiting for the output of the 4.25 tonne consultation. This has taken forever. And we've got somebody else now. Ridiculous.
Do you know what? I reckon we should just chuck this into ChatGPT, give it a sense check and go for it. Let's just get on with it, for goodness sake. Anyway, enough of my bile. Right. It's that favourite time of the week where Plugsy celebrates, because it's the people bit. It's the shout-outs! And smash. Now, this is just nuts. Gary Comerford, who looked particularly fetching this week because he'd had a shave, he smashed the doors in at 6:35, which is really impressive. Steve Watts, Tommy Trucks,
obviously wet the bed.
Economy truck Steve Warts 7:15. Happy wet Friday. Yeah, now he's in Wellingborough, and it's going to be a bit bouncy later, I understand. Certainly in Scotland, we are bracing ourselves for anything up to 95-mile-an-hour winds. So my Starlink might be all over the place, just like Plugsy in with Sam.
He's wrestling with him and losing by the look of it.
Daryl Sharp, who ordered the rain. Yeah, we're all going to get some of that, mate. James from Screamwash, he's here. Stuart Humphrey, hoping to get a little bit of you. Now then, he's been mostly spreading awareness of mental health since suffering with autistic burnout. Look after yourselves. Darn straight, my friend. And, when you need to lie low, lie low. When you can go again, go again. Hope to see you at Fleet Mobility Live. Young Sam, you are excused to go to the toilet.
I just wanted to say happy birthday to a certain special person.
No, that was July for me. Thanks, mate.
Talk about take a tangent. Oh dear. Go on.
Shout out. It's a shout out. Shout out to Sarah for her birthday this week. That was all. Just occurred to me. Thought I'd say it.
Happy 30th.
Oh.
Yeah, Ricky B did stitch me up with that. He put a video out saying happy 30th, Sarah, and everyone's like, there's no way you're 30.
Now then, I know I've been going at this a bit full bore, and the EVs were last night, and I suspect there are a few heads. Yeah, sorry. Ian Mayhew. Really sorry, mate. Yeah, bit of a dull head, thick head this morning. See, I'm really giddy because I got my tooth fixed yesterday. Lots of root canal treatment. So I'm really excited and happy days because I'm now not in pain. But Ian Mayhew, yeah, I hope the EVs went well for you. Teresa, look out, Teresa Swift. She's in the house. She's in a rainy Hawley. How is everyone today? A darn good question. Give us your number. What number are you out of 10? I'm currently about 90 million because of this tooth pain gone after about 3 months. Samuel, how are you, darling?
I'm very good. Can we tell the world what Chris Ramsey did last night?
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. While we're in the middle of the shout-outs, let's do it.
Yeah, who cares about the shout-outs? Don't bother about the
shout-outs. This is a shout-out to Chris Ramsey for collecting an award on behalf of someone he wasn't supposed to collect it for because he got confused as to who was who. He went up and collected an award, had nothing to do with him whatsoever. So I think that's brilliant. So well done, Chris. Nice
and I'll be mentioning the award winners in just a minute. So yeah, brilliant effort, Chris. Well done. Beyond Innovation Limited, Dougie Blair. Nice to see you here. Belinda Guy. Oh no, you've just celebrated 8 years in the automotive industry. So congrats. Anne Snelson. Morning all. She did my carbon literacy training and I love Anne to bits. Who else has done that? Sarah, you done Anne's course? Yes, I thought so. Really
Caroline's done
worth doing. Caroline's done it. I would urge everybody to do that because you learn stuff. That's what I'm saying. LinkedIn user might be Peter Heath and he might have nice teeth. Don't know. Ash Bannister, old two mugs, he's here. And DEV Cekravati in the house. Hope to see you next week at FML. Ron Godfrey. Sam looking better already. Better than what is the question? Tom Middleditch. I can't say Tom Centraldyke because the subtitles don't allow me to say one of those words. Utter madness. Morning, Tom. Leo Pickford. Feeling funner all round today, and funner is now becoming a word. Fleet News posted yesterday funner in relation to what we do. Love them, hug them and squeeze them. Belinda Automotive, like that, like what you've done with your name. Toby Hiles, hello mate, he was 2 minutes late, we don't care because we love you. And it is Peter Heath, he's here. He's got nice teeth, lovely to have you. Sarah Gray, she's here again. Sarah Gray is in the house, the aforementioned, who will be with us at FML. You said she was big, Paul. I'm not sure that's fair.
Did I say she was big? I'm not sure I did.
We've got the tape. Peter Lever, morning, my friend. Liz Allen, great to see you here. Stuart Humphrey, we've already mentioned. God, dear me, Lord above. Right, let's crack on. That was brilliant. 10:14, and we are going to talk about the H word. Okay, let's just get into it. Let's be professional. The UK government needs to act swiftly to ensure options are kept open for hydrogen's role in decarbonising the nation's heavy transport sector. That's according to the Road Haulage Association, the Hydrogen Energy Association, well, they would say that, wouldn't they? And the Construction Plant Hire Association, in a joint letter sent to government ahead of the forthcoming refresh of the UK hydrogen strategy. So we had one. That's not particularly worked, so they're having a refresh. 3 organisations have highlighted hydrogen's potential to play a critical role in delivering a practical and affordable pathway to net zero for high utilisation and hard to electrify land transport applications. Here we go, Sam. Including HGVs, long distance coaches, utility vans, construction plant, emergency service fleets, and parts of the rail sector. Now then, I've got a real bone with this before we even start. Government is technology neutral as a general rule because they don't want to side with one or the other and they sit on the fence. But we already have electric buses. Ember in Scotland providing high quality services between Dundee and Aberdeen, Dundee and Glasgow, Edinburgh to Fort William, for goodness sake. That is hundreds of miles. Inverness to Thurso and Aberdeen to Inverness. We've got electric trucks. Ask Sam, ask Chris Welsh at Welsh's Transport. At what point do we hop off the splinters in the bum fence and actually recognise that hydrogen, despite all the support it's had and all of the proponents, ain't delivering? Sam, I'm on a rant today, my friend.
I know. That's it. You've done it. I've got nothing to rant about. You're absolutely right, and I've been at several events in the last few weeks, including RHA's own forum, where I had to listen to a complete diatribe from people who were trying to promote synthetic diesel and hydrogen solutions. And Richard Smith, the MD of RHA, and I have had a few words of late. He offered to sit down with me to talk about his views. I declined because there's no point. He's got this tunnel vision about hydrogen, which is just vastly wrong. And even the likes of Cenex yesterday at the event we were at was saying how it's something which we need to move away from. I've heard whispers that the government is reining back its decisions and its rhetoric on hydrogen. We will see if that happens. Perhaps that's why they're starting to try and wave one last flag. But just get over it, guys. It doesn't work in this capacity. It doesn't work in this application. The industry knows it. Motor Transport Decarbonisation Summit last week was barely mentioned. 3 years ago, it was 50-50 in the debate. Now it's barely mentioned, and there's a good reason for it. Use it in the right applications, but road transport is not it.
Yeah. Now, vans were mentioned, Paul. What do you think?
Well, do you know what? We are fast solving the challenges of the electrification of the van sector. Listen, I have been to Denmark to see Clayton Power's new e-gen system. This is an e-gen system which allows 400 volt technology to do welding out of the back of the van. Now, this means that the vehicles can be doing all of the things that we're talking about there, and still using the traction battery, still putting energy on board in separate tools that are able to deliver the power. We know that there are some challenges, but we also know that the sector is solving those challenges as we're going along and getting better range out of vehicles. The vehicles are performing more effectively. Utility vehicles, welfare vehicles, all of those kinds of things are being solved. Because we've got the infrastructure there. We don't need to put a new infrastructure. We just focus our R&D and our effort and our money on solving the problems of the challenges of specific elements of the fleet. We don't need it. It's a waste of time and money.
Now, Sarah, you're usually the voice of reason and balance.
I was just thinking that.
What you got for us?
Well, I've got a new feature that I've just thought of, the topical barometer of shame. So I think for me, hydrogen, I just like to listen, as you know. And Sam, you said something great yesterday at the summit that we were at in London, whatever it's called, the EV's daytime thing. And you said that you're really up for alternative fuels, got to get as low carbon as possible until electrification happens, but just forget hydrogen. I think that's a really good stance that we can all take. Second thing, Bath University has invited me to come on to their video thing that they're doing because they're paid by the government to support hydrogen, and she knows as well as I do that I don't. So we're going to have a really good debate about it and see where we end up. And the third thing is the community event I did last week. I was fully braced and ready for the number one hydrogen bingo. What about hydrogen? Didn't come up once. So we may
Okay.
feel it's happening, sort of going away, but really out there, it's less and less talked about, which is a really good testament to everybody just banging the EV drum instead.
Can I just quickly highlight
Go
this
for it.
comment from Sarah? Sarah Gray. She mentioned that Stellantis as a group have pulled out of their hydrogen trials. I wouldn't be surprised to see Renault follow, because they were, I'm kind of feeling that they probably were only doing the same thing. But it makes much more sense just to kind of focus our R&D and our investment on electrification.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that we're bashing hydrogen. I've been in this business for about 15 years, and hydrogen and electric were kicking around 15 years ago as the saviours of the planet. Reality is, EV has delivered. Hydrogen hasn't. And in the last 15, if we'd waited 15 years and hadn't got on with EV, we'd have got nowhere. So it's really, really key that we just reflect the reality of what's happening. They both had the opportunity. Hydrogen has failed to deliver right now. Okay, now, I did love the little joke that came
Oh,
from
that's what I'm dying about. It's so funny. I'm just so impressed. Toby Hiles, you win everything today.
Yeah, so Toby Hiles wins the internet.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
There we go. I was going to make a joke about sodium and hydrogen, but nah.
Good.
And they ain't. Brilliant.
Paul, we'll explain it to you later, mate. Don't worry. It's all right.
I know, it's the chemical the identifications. No. I kind of figured it was clever. It's a bit niche. I'm not up on it, but I made some assumptions.
It's hard to tell what your expression is because you're so pixelated. You're just a blob on the screen.
In fairness, though, he does know about vans.
Your point is what?
You look better.
I can't help that.
Shall we move? Right, UK charge point operators face new hurdles meeting strict government uptime and support rules, with fines of up to £10,000 at stake, new research shows. Monta, an EV charging platform who won at the EV Awards last night and got their award collected by Chris Ramsey by mistake. Good move, Chris. I've never had the balls to do that, to go up and collect somebody else's award. It's just... Yeah, well, I know you do. You take anybody's. You're like, yeah, I'll have that. Thank you very much. Anyway, they won an award last night, and they've released the findings from a survey of more than 200 senior decision makers across the sector. Just 4% of respondents reported uptime of 99%, the government's new benchmark target. Most operators, 3/4, achieve above 95%, and that should be celebrated. Yeah, it's not 99, but it is 95. And we have come a long, long way since that target was put in place. Nearly half of those surveys cited the risk of civil penalties of up to £10,000 per charge point as a major concern. Of course they do, but failure happens. These are machines. Petrol and diesel pumps break down. It happens. Is 99% really the standard at which penalties should be levied, Paul, do you think?
It's a good question. I think that we've set some targets out. We do need to have uptime of chargers. We can't afford the downtime, certainly for commercial vehicle perspective. Maybe it should be earlier. We've invested a lot of money in making these things, and there's nothing more frustrating than having chargers not perform. They need to perform. And so there needs to be some sort of incentive for people to make it happen.
Yeah, I think if 3/4 of them are achieving 95%, surely it would be sensible to go after those that aren't achieving 95%, because that's dragging those poor performers up to at least an acceptable standard.
Is it acceptable?
There's a lot more to this debate, John, than meets the eye, right? The performance in terms of a target is all well and good, but there are so many different other nuances to these statistics that people don't necessarily understand. I mean, for a start, this data can still be manipulated to make it look like what you think you need it to look like, which means people make assumptions immediately. And the other thing which bothers me slightly is the utilization metrics that don't get recorded in this. So if you've got a charger that's being used 100% of the time versus one that's barely used at all, carries the same requirement, in terms of its uptime. Whereas one is getting blasted and worn out on a daily basis, which is grid surge challenge on a daily basis because we're so busy, the busiest network, and yet you've got other providers that are in a different scenario completely. So that's just a couple of the multitude of variables that determine whether 95 or 99% is the right number. So I think we've got a long way to go to really understand these numbers, not just assume that 95 is better or 99 is better than 95. I think there's more to it.
Highly fair. And Sarah, I'm interested in payments and whether payments are as part of this 99.5 uptime. If you fail to be able to process a payment, does that mean the charger's not working?
It's super complicated. Technically, yes, but then I myself encounter on a perhaps weekly basis situations where the terminal isn't working, but the charger is. So the charger will show as working and up, but you can't bloody use the thing, which means it's non-compliant because you can't use it with a non-proprietary device. You have to use an app or an RFID card. So it's technically not compliant, but there's no way at the moment of proving that. I do personally think 99 is too high, just saying.
Yeah, I suppose the bottom line is if you can't use it, then it's no bloody use.
Right.
But the question, we say 99% is too high, yet we've probably never experienced turning up to a fuel station and trying to work the pump and it doesn't work. I mean, can anybody remember? I mean, I haven't been there for a long time. I haven't, but so I don't know if it is a thing. But in all of my time filling up with petrol or diesel, I don't think I ever experienced. Occasionally it was shut because the whole thing was down, but it was incredibly rare. And the thing about this is, why should we accept less? We wouldn't go into a shop and not expect to get what we want to get. So I don't know. I think it should work.
I really struggle with that sort of comparison. It's very frustrating because fueling of ICE vehicles has been going on for decades, if not hundreds of years. EVs have been around for 5 seconds. So please don't expect the EV technology to be at the level and reliance and the speed and the performance of a petrol pump on day one. It's not going to happen.
It's not day one though, is it, Sam? We're at year sort of 6 or 7, and
we're talking about the 90
percentiles
percentiles of performance reliability, which means we're doing a blinking good job. It's just a case of how much further do we push it. So let's just remember how far we've come, and
I know it's vastly improved. I know,
comparison.
But we should never settle for less.
Francois Wilbers, bless him. I remember him from Swarco. Lovely to see you here. What's a fuel pump? Yeah, fair point. 1028. One final story. Now then, Auto Trader, alongside Charge UK, the Society for Motor Manufacturers and Traders, and others have reported the premium for electric vehicle prices over petrol and diesel has fallen to a record low. EVs and ICE equivalents are now just 19% difference. So you do pay 19% more for an EV than you would for an equivalent ICE. However, it was 33% just a year ago. So that's a heck of a shift. Now, what else? We've got 85,163 charges in the UK and ultra rapids 17,132, up from 16,259. There are now 37 new EVs with an RRP of under £30,000 compared to 33 in June. I remember when a Renault Zoe was £30,000 back in the day. That's phenomenal. We've now got 37 different models. It's just brilliant. That's great news. I'm really chuffed to see that. And if you need a really good deal on an electric vehicle, why don't you go to the unique comparison website that we have via the EV Café? Paul, tell us more.
Well, leasing.com is streamed directly through the EV Café website in an electric-only guise, and you can get best value electric cars and vans, of course, by default through that channel. So you can get over there. And I will just say about vans, I was talking with a company recently, and they were saying, this is my price for my diesel van, and I'm like, I can get you 3 or 4 vans, all the same, all as good, and that for less than you're paying for that diesel van. The transactional pricing of electric vehicles today is probably better than that is being represented, because that's based on list prices, which is the only thing we can do. But transaction prices are definitely less for electric vehicles than many diesel or petrol counterparts.
Good to know. Can't thank you enough, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Sarah, Sam, Paul, you've been outstanding, but not quite as good as our audience, who have been commenting like the wind. Fabulous stuff from everybody today. Absolute hearts everywhere. Now then, if you've got any clean transport PR or news stories you'd like us to cover, please send them to us at hello@evcafe.org. Until next Friday, it's goodbye from me with all my hearts, and it's goodbye from them. This has been an EV Cafe production. Other sustainability news services are apparently available, but this is just funner! The EV Cafe is truly blessed to be partnered with the AA, Webfleet, Europe Car, Iveco, Schneider Electric, EV Blocks, AW Energy, CPD Bodies and True Charge. With the EV Cafe supporting the transition to clean transport, ably accompanied by Drax Electric Vehicles, because they do the EV business. Until next week, enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend, and wherever it takes you. See you Friday. Love you lots, and maybe for a hug at Fleet Mobility Live. Bye-bye. Bye. And Jamie Fretwell's going to be there.
Jamie Fretwell.